All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to YAHAWAH Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakar HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly dividing the word in truth and sincerity. And Shalom to you believers out there, the YAHAWAH. So, the lesson I'm getting into right now is going into basically how the Lord, okay, what I got pulled up right here is Ecclesiasticus, the 18th chapter, okay, and matter of fact, let me start out with this, starting at verse 1. He that liveth forever hath created all things in general, all right? The Lord only is righteous, and there is none other but he, who governeth the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will. All right. And nothing resists his will. Okay. And that's going into, it's reiterated in Romans chapter 9. All right. Which, Lord will, I'm going to get later. But it says, all things obey his will, for he is the king of all, by his power, dividing holy things among them from profane. All right. And this lesson I'm going into is basically how, YAHAWAH raised up these heathen kings, okay, to basically be like a whooping stick, and they get used and then they get discarded, basically, all right? Because the only king that's going to reign perpetually, is YAHAWAH, okay? YAHAWAH is the only king that is going to have a perpetual, meaning forever, kingdom. All right. And the nation of Israel is going to be the only nation, all right, that's going to have that glory, that splendor, that honor forever. All right. Because like right now, we in Esau, Edom, which is Esau is the so-called white man. We're in his kingdom right now. All right. And that's why, English is the standard language, the dollar. Okay. With Esau face on it, that's the world currency. Okay, you can go anywhere, and the American dollar can be used. All right, now I mean you got the BRICS nations that's coming together right now, but even now you can still go and use it. But what I'm saying is that's the world currency. It's not the ruble. It's not the nari. It's not all these other currencies. They're not the world currency. Okay. Because we're in Esau, Edom's kingdom. Even if you not to go too far off, but even if you look at like how China, these Chinese guys, they wear suits. They don't wear, they embrace a westernized culture when you go into every culture. All right. The westernized culture, basically from Babylon the Great, which is America, is spread it all over. You can go in Egypt and see a McDonald's, okay? So the westernized mind frame is the dominant mind frame now, and there's no different in antiquity, okay? Because you had kings like Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon, who had a great kingdom, the Assyrian Empire, okay? And things of that nature, Medo-Persian Empire. Okay, they had great kingdoms, and when basically, you have a great empire, okay, everybody is following that mindset, that mind frame, okay, everybody is following their customs. But see, YAHAWAH raised these kings up, okay, to basically, do his bidding, and a lot of that was to deal with the Israelites when they went off. All right. But see, afterwards, it would be some type of discard. All right. And that's what I'm finna go into. All right. So just kind of strap in, because I'm going to be doing, some reading, If you don't, if you got short patience, this lesson might get a little lengthy, but hey, I'm finna go into it. All right. Now, when you go into Jeremiah chapter 25, and I'm going to start at verse 9. And it says, Behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, said the Lord, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. Now, this is going into Nebuchadnezzar, okay, which when you go into the history, Nebuchadnezzar, okay, he sees Jerusalem 2 times. All right, when you go into the history. All right, so continuing on. And Nebuchadnezzar, okay, he was a certain, it's about to go into it because, you know, matter of fact, let me just keep reading real quick and make my point. Verse 9 again, behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, said the Lord, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant. All right, and that's the point I want to get, my servant, because, you know, and you'll have somebody come from the left field saying, well, you know, Nebuchadnezzar, you know, he was a heathen and he was a servant. Well, the Lord used these again. He used these heathen nations, these kings, okay, and it's no different with Esau, Edom. He used them as a whooping stick of some kind. He used them to do his bidding, and then, like I said, it's a discard. All right. So continuing on, Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and will bring them against this land. All right, and this he's speaking to Jerusalem, because even when you go up, all right, it says the word came to Jeremiah concerning all the people of Judah in the 4th year of Joachim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah. That was the 1st year of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, the which Jeremiah the prophet spake unto all the people of Judah and to all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, saying, okay, so he's speaking to Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, which are Israelites, all right, and letting them know to, you know, basically repent, all right, or what was going to happen, like as always, because matter of fact, even, you know, the Lord was always, everything was wrote aforetime, okay, and this, matter of fact, let me make a quick little, let me go to Deuteronomy. When you go to Deuteronomy 30, all right, because it was already foretold, of course, before the foundations of the earth, but it was already foretold even to Moses, okay, that we were going to go into captivity, okay, even the captivity that we most recently have been in when we came over here on cargo slave ships. That was given in what? Deuteronomy 28, all right, and what, 68, all right. So when you go to Deuteronomy 30:1, it says, and it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, see, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither the Lord thy power have driven thee, see that scattering, and shall return unto the Lord thy power, and shall obey his voice, according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, that the Lord thy power will turn thy captivity. Okay, so that means he's gonna, you know, break those shackles off. All right, see, and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy power have scattered thee. See, and that's reiterating what, Jeremiah 16 chapter, if I'm not making a mistake. All right, Jeremiah 16-17. I mean, you know, I know it's in Jeremiah where he said what? There will be no more, roughly paraphrasing, it will be no more talked about, you know, the Lord that brought us out of Egypt, but the Lord, thy power that live, okay, that's going to bring us out of all the lands where he scattered us. All right, so everything was already foretold, but he was always using these heathen kings and, you know, these heathens as a whooping, okay, as a whooping stick for Israel. All right, and to do his bidding on other nations as well. All right, but see, it's never was going to be perpetual. All right, because even when you go into the history of the Assyrians, the Babylonians, all right, and you go to the Medo-Persian, every time it was an empire, those people always thought that that kingdom could never be brought down. All right, and it's the same today. And that's another point. You're going to see the parallels between the Esau, Edom right now and these other heathens of old, all right? And that lets you know that the Lord put the same spirit on all these heathen kings, basically, you know what I'm saying, to be rose up. They get haughty, They get proud and then they get knocked down and they through. All right. But see, Israel, we're not going to be like that in the kingdom, because we going to have the laws in our inward parts. All right. And we are the chosen of YAHAWAH. Okay. We are the chosen of Yahweh. Okay. That has been given to Yahweh. Okay. So we're going to have a perpetual, Yahweh will have a perpetual kingdom, and we will partake in that, Lord will. Matter of fact, Lord will be the first fruits, because when you go into it, Israel all will be saved and all partake. All right. So continuing on back in Jeremiah 25. All right. In verse 9 again, it says, behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, said the Lord, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and will bring them against this land, okay, and against the inhabitants thereof, and against all these nations round about, and will utterly destroy them, and make them an astonishment, and a hissing, and perpetual desolations. All right, so he's going to use Nebuchadnezzar to do his bidding. Moreover, in verse 10, moreover, I will take from them the voice of mirth, and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, the sound of the millstone, and the light of the candle. And see, that's what's going on right now. Didn't the Lord say he's going to take the mirth out of the land? Okay, and that's what you're seeing right now. You have these pestilence. You got the monkey business. You still got the C-19. All right, you got inflations. Okay, you got unstable weather. Okay, people getting their farm land took. All right. So the famine is looming. All right. So that's taking away, okay, that mirth, the voice of gladness. Okay. The sound of the millstone. Okay. When you have these lockdowns in certain areas. Okay. People can't go out their houses. People in 2020, they lost a lot of small businesses. They lost their business, never to return. People lost their jobs because they didn't take the vaccine. Okay. And that's the parallel today, as you can see. All right. But see, he was going to use Nebuchadnezzar to do this to Jerusalem and other nations, around it. All right. So verse 11, and this whole land shall be a desolation and an astonishment, and these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. So see, all of these nations, going to serve who? The king of Babylon. And Esau, Edom is used to do the same thing. All right. Because in Jacob's trouble, Esau, Edom is going to be used to wreak havoc on 2/3 of the Jakes. Okay. 2/3 of Israel. All right. So you see the parallels. And this is again, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, MO basically. Okay. Verse 12. And it shall come to pass when 70 years are accomplished that I will punish the king of Babylon and that nation, said the Lord, for their iniquity, and the land of the Chaldeans, and will make it perpetual desolation. See, so after it come to pass, all right, when the 70 years are accomplished, that I will punish who? Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. See, after he done doing what he's supposed to do, the Lord gonna punish him, and it's gonna be the same with Esau. All right. The Lord is almost about finished using Esau. And when he done with Esau, well, then he going to punish Esau. And Esau going to go into captivity. All right. So verse 13, and I will bring upon that land all my words, which I have pronounced against it. See, it was already spoken. Even all that is written in this book, which Jeremiah have prophesied against all the nations. See. For many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also, and I will recompense them according to their deeds and according to the works of their own hands. For thus said the Lord, power of Israel, unto me, take the wine of the cup of this fury. Let me read that over. Jeremiah 25:15. For thus said the Lord, power of Israel, unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it. See? So he's using Nebuchadnezzar. He told Jeremiah, take this cup. Verse 16, and they shall drink and be moved and be mad, okay, because of the sword that I will send among them. Then I took the cup at the Lord's hands, and made all the nations to drink unto whom the Lord has sent me, to wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation and an astonishment and a hissing and a curse, as it is this day. All right, see, so again, Israel, when Esau Edom was coming into power, Israel had to drink of that cup. But see, Esau Edom started spreading out as well. He kept, he never keep it at home. So verse 19, Pharaoh the king of Egypt and his servants and his princes and all his people and all the mingled people and all the kings of the land of Uz and all the king of the land of the Philistines and Ashkelon and Azah and Ekron and the remnant of Ashdod, Edom and Moab and the children of Ammon and all the kings of Tyrus and all the kings of Zidon and all the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea, Dedan and Tema and Buz and all that are in the utmost corners, okay? And all the kings of Arabia and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert, see? And all the kings of Zimri and all the kings of Elam and all the kings of the Medes. See? So Nebuchadnezzar, okay, was ordained basically to take down all of these kings and these kingdoms, all right? Just like Esau Edom today, as you can see. Esau Edom, he took down a lot of kingdoms and got a lot of kingdoms under his thumb. All right. That's why these nations just now rising up, because that's biblical prophecy for Russia and China to be together. And then you got all the rest of the BRICS nations, and you got other nations joining in that want to take down Babylon. Why is that? Because the Most High bless Esau Edom with the sword. Okay, it's because of Esau Edom military might that he's in power over all these other nations. Okay, because he go in, he uses military might and take over, and then he strip them from natural resources, and nothing you can do when a man has more military might than you. Okay, only the Lord can help you up out of there. But see, but Esau Edom, he has a certain time. All right, and then he out of there. Even though nobody believe it, like scriptures say, when they say in Revelation, who can make war with the beast? All right, that's what these people, that's what everybody's saying. All right, but see, YAHAWAH is gonna come and make that war, and and ultimately crumble all Esau Edom and the rest of these kingdoms. All right, because that's why I say YAHAWAH gonna have many crimes. Because he going to do the same thing. But the only thing is, YAHAWAH ain't going to be discarded. All right? YAHAWAH going to reign forever. All right? Of course, under the Heavenly Father. All right? So, back in Jeremiah 25 and 26, and all the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world, which are upon the face of the earth, and the king of Shishak shall drink after them. Therefore, thus thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts. All right. The power of Israel, drink ye and be drunken and spew and fall and rise no more, because of the sword which I send among you. And who got the sword now? Esau Edom. Verse 28. And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thine hand to drink, then shalt thou say unto them, thus said the Lord of hosts, ye shall certainly drink. All right. Ye shall certainly drink. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name. And should ye be utterly unpunished, ye shall not be unpunished. For I will call a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith the Lord of hosts. All right. See? So you see the parallels. All right. And Nebuchadnezzar, he was a great king in his time. All right. Excuse me, I took a sip of some water. He was a great king in his time. But eventually what happened? He was taken down. All right. As a matter of fact, when you go to Daniel, all right, chapter 4, and you get into it. And this is Nebuchadnezzar, okay? Because, you know, Nebuchadnezzar, he got proud as well. All right, and he had to get humble. Just like Esau is proud, and he gonna get humble. All right, he really catching a lot of his humbling right now, but he really haven't got all of it yet. All right, it's starting up. So when you go to Daniel chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 4, I Nebuchadnezzar was at rest in my house and flourishing in my palace. See, I saw a dream which made me afraid, and the thoughts upon my bed and the vision of my head troubled me. Therefore I made a decree to bring in all the wise men of Babylon before me, that they might make known unto me the interpretation of the dream. Then came in the magicians, the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers, and I told the dream before them, but they did not make known unto me the interpretation thereof. And as you see right there, that's an offense. All right. But he's a heathen, really, you know. But he brought in what? The magicians, the astrologers, and the Chaldeans. All right. And what do it say? I believe in Jeremiah. The Lord gonna say, hey, depend on them. Depend on the stargazers. Depend on the monthly prognosticators. All right. In your time of calamity. Roughly paraphrasing. All right. But see, you see, Nebuchadnezzar, he had all these people. All right. Verse 8. But at the last, Daniel, all right, the Israelite brother, all right, because if you go into the story of Daniel, you know Daniel had got that rank, all right, because he was blessed from on high. But at the last, Daniel came in before me, whose name was Belshazzar, all right, because you know once Jerusalem had got sieged, and you know Daniel was taken captive, along with, you know, when you go into the three holy children, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, which were those were the Babylonian names, as well as Belshazzar. Okay, they renamed them. And you see again, even when we came over here in cargo ships, right, in hardcore slavery, when we was brought to the Americans, what happened? We had our name changed. All right. So if your name was what it was, whatever it was, when you was in West Africa, or, you know, when you was brought over here, you might have had a Hebrew name or whatever. It was changed. Even if you watch the movie Roots, he said your name is not Toby. Your name is not Kuta Kinte. Your name is Toby. Okay? But that's likened to what happened. All right? So you see the parallels. Okay? So verse 8 again. But at the last, Daniel came in before me, whose name was Belshazzar, according to the name of my God. Okay, you see how he's saying, according to the name of my God, in whom is the spirit of the holy gods. And before him I told the dream, saying, so you see Nebuchadnezzar, you know, he worshiped other gods, and that was a part of his humbling. Okay, because those other gods is not the one who put him in power. It was YAHAWAH. Okay, YAHAWAH Bahashem Yahushua. Okay, put him in power. Okay, but he thought it was the other guys. Verse 9, O Belshazzar, master of the magicians, because I know that the spirit of the holy God is in thee. All right, and no secret troubleth thee. Tell me the visions of my dream that I have seen, and the interpretation thereof. Thus were the visions of mine head. The visions of mine head in my bed I saw, and behold, a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto the heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth. The leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all. The beast of the field had shadow under it, and the fowls of the heaven dwelt in the bowls thereof, and all the flesh was fed of it. I saw in the visions of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and a holy one came down from heaven. He cried aloud and said thus, hew down the tree, and cut off the branches, shake off his leaves, and scatter his fruit, and let the beasts get away from under it, and the fowls from his branches. Nevertheless, leave the stump of his roots in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass, in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth. Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him. All right, and see, this is a dream about his humbling. All right, this is the Lord put the dream on him, but he couldn't interpret it, but Daniel could. So now we about to go into, Daniel interpreting it to him. Verse 17, the matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men. See, and the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. All right, and that goes with this lesson. Okay, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. All right, and he set it up over it the basis of the men. Nebuchadnezzar, all of the kings in the Middle East, all of these heathen kings, okay? And to fast forward into Esau, Edom, you had even Alexander the Great, all right, who in that time they Hellenized a lot of Israel, all right? And that's when you go into that Greek, basically empire, okay? It was a lot of Hellenization going on. Okay, that's where you get into the story of the Maccabees as well. Okay, under the ancient Roman Empire. Okay, you had kings and things of that nature. Okay, they were the basis of men. All right, verse 18. But guess what? They all came to their destruction. And now we're in the revised Roman Empire, which is America. Okay, so verse 18, this dream I, King Nebuchadnezzar, have seen. Now thou, O Belshazzar, declare the interpretation thereof, for as much as all the wise men of my kingdom are not able to make known unto me the interpretation, but thou art able, for the spirit of the holy gods is in thee. All right, and see, those other men couldn't do it because they wasn't backed by YAHAWAH, but Daniel was. All right, that's letting you know that they're false gods, and who, all of that, who they all of who they put their trust in, the false gods and deities, they had no power. Okay. So verse 19. All right, then Daniel, whose name was Belshazzar, all right, was astonished for 1 hour, and his thoughts troubled him. The king spake and said, Belshazzar, let not the dream or the interpretation thereof trouble thee. Belshazzar answered and said, my lord, the dream be to them that hate thee, and the interpretation thereof to thine enemies. All right, letting them know, hey, they don't like you. Basically the angels and, YAHAWAH, they done with you. Okay, basically. All right. So, verse 20, the tree that thou sawest, which grew and was strong, whose height reached unto the heaven, and the sight thereof to all the earth, whose leaves were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all, under which the beasts of the field dwelt, and upon whose branches the fowls of the heaven had their habitation. It is thou, O king. See, so that tree is Nebuchadnezzar, all right, because he rose, he was in power, branched out, okay, and he conquered kings, all right, and he had great substance, all right. Where we at? Verse 22. It is thou, O king, that art grown and become strong, for thy greatness is grown and reached unto heaven, and thy dominion to the end of the earth. All right, verse 23. Whereas the king saw a watcher and holy one coming down from heaven, and saying, hew the tree down and destroy it, yet leave the stump of the roots thereof in the earth, even with the band of iron and brass and the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beast of the field, till 7 times pass over. This is the interpretation, O king, and this is the decree of the Most High, which is come upon my lord the king. See? Verse 25, that they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beast of the field, and they shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and they shall wet thee with the dew of heaven, and 7 times shall pass over thee, till thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomever he will. See, so he's letting them know, just like Esau is going to be letting on that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. All right, he's going to know that. All right, and he, basically, he's finding that out right now. All right, but you got the elites, they're still proud. All right, it's a parallel, because even after this king, Nebuchadnezzar was still proud. Let's read on. Verse 26, and whereas they commanded to leave the stump of the tree roots, thy kingdom shall be sure unto thee, after that thou shalt have known that the heavens do rule. Wherefore, O king, let my counsel be acceptable unto thee, and break off thy sins by righteousness, and thine iniquities by showing mercy to the poor, if it may be lengthening of thy tranquility. All right, and see, he was given a place of repentance. That's why the Lord left that stump of the tree roots. But see, Esau, Edom, he's not going to be left a stump. He's not going to be left any roots. All right. Because, see, roughly paraphrasing, I believe that's in, is that Isaiah or Psalms? Somebody can put in the comment board where the Lord said he's not going to leave Esau. He's going to take the son and the nephew. He's not going to leave no roots for Esau. Esau never is coming back into power, because he don't have the one nation don't have place of repentance. All right. Verse 28, continuing on, all this came upon the king Nebuchadnezzar. All right. At the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon. The king spake and said, is not this great Babylon, see, that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power and for the honor of my majesty? While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee. See? So in his pride, that voice from heaven said, hey, it is spoken. The kingdom is departed. You done. You've been stripped. All right. See, and the Lord hardened his heart, just like he did Pharaoh. All right. Again, that's according to what? Romans chapter 9. All right. It's in Romans chapter 9. All right. See, the Lord used the Pharaoh of Egypt, Nebuchadnezzar. Again, he used them, and then they get discarded. All right. Verse 32, and they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beast of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as oxen. All right. And 7 times shall pass. Whoa. Slacky. Wait. Yeah. Okay. It was just reiterating. Slacky. All right. Verse 32 again, and they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beast of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as oxen. 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will. Hold on, yeah, okay, it was. Just making sure. Verse 33, the same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar. So again, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. All right. And he giveth it to whomsoever he will. All right. And right now, again, we're in Esau, Edom kingdom. Verse 33, the same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men, and did eat grass as oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hairs were grown like eagle's feathers, and his nails like bird claws. So he really got a base. He went from sugar to shit. All right. That's like in today's society, say a guy like Floyd Mayweather, or, you know, to put it in layman's terms, a guy like Jay-Z, all of a sudden you just walk past and you see Jay-Z, you know, on a corner with a sign begging for change or just out of his mind. You know what I'm saying? You will be astonished, like, damn, that's Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Put it in layman's terms. All right. Or even if you've seen President Joe Biden or Obama, you just seen Obama just psychobabbling to himself. His hair uncut. He don't look groomed. He look dirty. Look like he ain't took a bath in a month. And you just see him on the corner and he asks you for change. And you be like, wow, you'd be astonished. All right. See, the Lord controlled the ups and downs. All right. So since Nebuchadnezzar was proud, okay, boasting and thinking he doing it all himself, even though he knew Daniel, you know, had the Lord on his side, okay, and the Lord was working with him, he still was proud, all right? And that's why it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Lord, man. Okay, it's a fearful thing because he can harden your heart in a way to where you be a base, even no matter how high you was, all right? Verse 34, and at the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted up my eyes unto heaven and made my understanding return unto me. All right. And I blessed the Most High, and I praise and honor him that liveth forever, whose dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation. See? So afterwards, he knew, like, you know, hey. Verse 35, and all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing, and he doeth according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth, and none can stand in his hand or say unto him, what doest thou? And that's going back to Ecclesiastes 8:4. All right, where the word of a king is, there is power. And who may say unto him, what doest thou? See, verse 36. At the same time, my reasoning returned unto me, and for the glory of my kingdom, mine honor and brightness returned unto me, and my counselors and my Lord sought unto me, and I was established in my kingdom, and excellent majesty was added unto me. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praised and extolled and honored the King of heaven, all whose works are truth, and his ways judgment, and those that walk in pride, he is able to abase, man. And that's exactly, it happened to Nebuchadnezzar, and it's going to happen to who? Esau, Edom. He's going to go through the same fate. The only difference is he's not going to repent. He don't have a place of repentance, okay? So he's going to be hardened and took straight out of power and going to captivity. And people really can't believe that because Esau, Edom, how the Lord has set him up, okay? That's why you got a guy like Yuval Harari who say, we don't need some magical God in the sky for immortality. We got a couple geeks in the lab that can do it. Well, I don't believe that really to be true. And even if it is true, who gave you the wisdom and the knowledge on everything you're doing? See, Esau said, I am. All right. Esau have said, I am he. All right. And matter of fact, it was all the Lord's doing. When you go to Psalm 73, see, it was all the Lord's doing to make these guys, these kings, these different heathen kings haughty. It was all the Lord's doing to make us transgress, basically. All right. It was all the Lord's doing to make us to transgress, to go into these different captivities. So in the end, okay, we can be raised up. All right. It was, and it's the Lord's doing to bring all these heathen nations into power and bring them low so the Lord can show his power. All right. So when you go to Psalm 73, all right, and I'm going to start at verse 3. It says what? For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. See? It was, and this is a psalm of Asaph, okay? But when you go into the Psalms, you know you basically going into King David, okay? For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. See? For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. All right? Going into it. How these heathens, okay, is not in trouble. Their prosperity. All right? But guess what? Let me keep going. Verse 5. Verse 6. Therefore pride has compassed them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. See? That pride. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than the heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. And you see, even when Daniel interpreted the dream to Nebuchadnezzar, what he say? Isn't it I who did this? Okay. See, that's setting their mouth against the heavens. All right. That's that pride. Okay. Verse 10, therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out unto them. And they say, how doeth the Most High know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? See? And that's what Esau Edom is saying today. All right? That's why I said, my man, he said, we don't need some mythical God in the sky. We can do it in a lab. That's setting his mouth against the heavens. That's walking. That's that pride compassing them. Okay? All right. Verse 12, behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. Verily, I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocency. And see, this is the tribes when they try to trim their ways to Esau, Edom, and the rest of these heathens and get the money, get that bag. All right. That's why when you go up, it says, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. And this was Israel's problem right now to this day. All right. That's why you have, bug outs in Israel. OK, whenever they get real high in Esau society, well, they put in a lot of evil deeds that some you know about and a lot that you don't know about. All right. Even just take the music industry, for example. To really be successful, you have to do a lot of things. Let's just say the entertainment field as a whole. All right. Verse 14, for all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning. See, if I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. Verse 16, when I thought to know this, it was too painful for me. All right. Until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High. Then I understood their end. See, when he went into the sanctuary of the Most High, into this word. OK, that's how we go into the sanctuary of the Most High and knowing these scriptures. That's why we always got to thank YAHAWAH for basically giving us the playbook. OK, because now we know the end. We know the end of Esau Edom. We ain't got to worry. We ain't got to be, walking like a blind man in the wilderness, okay? Because we've been given the light, and the light is what? The word. So we know the end now. So that we ain't like 2/3 of our people who out here. Oh, I gotta get the bag. I gotta do this. or doing a lot of wickedness to stay successful. We don't want to be partakers in Esau Edom kingdom because we see it circling the drain. And we know it's coming to an end, and we're going to have way better forever. All right. So verse 16 again, I'm going to start at. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High. Then understood I their end. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places and casted them down into destruction. See, so the Lord put these kings, these heathen kings, and rulers in slippery places. All right. Just to fall into destruction. All right. And Esau, Edom is no different. All right. He's in a slippery place. That's why his kingdom is circling the drain right now. If you are paying attention. All right. Matter of fact, because when you get the editions of Esther, chapter 1, all right, I'm going to start at 1. Then Mordecai, okay, it say Mordecaius, all right, that's Mordecai in Esther, okay. Then Mordecai said, the Most High have done these things. For I remember the dream which I saw concerning these matters, and nothing thereof have failed. A little fountain became a river, and there was light, and the sun, and much water. This river is Esther, whom the king married and made queen. And when you go into the story of Esther, okay, you know Esther married the king at that time, which was King Artaxerxes. Okay. All right. Verse 7. And the 2 dragons and I are Ammon. All right. And that's Mordecai and Haman. Because you know Haman wanted to destroy the Jews. Verse 8. And the nation were those that were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews. And my nation is this Israel, which cried to the Most High and were saved. For the Lord hath saved his people, and the Lord hath delivered us from all those evils. And the Most High have wrought signs and great wonders, which have not been done among the Gentiles. See? Therefore he hath made 2 lots, one for the people of the Most High, which are the Israelites, and another for all the Gentiles. See, that's Esau and all the rest of y'all these heathen nations, man. It's 2 lots. Okay, they got their lot and we got our lot. All right. And this is why they get rose to power, get proud. They be used as a whooping stick and then they discard it. Again, Esau, Edom is no different. But see, YAHAWAH is coming. Okay. And he's going to reign forever. All right. He's going to reign. He's not going to get discarded. Okay. Israel, once we in the kingdom, Israel will the YAHAWAH kingdom, okay, which we will partake in, won't get discarded. We're not gonna have to worry about, oh man, Moab and Ammon, they've been conspiring, and now we gotta watch out and go to war. No, that's not gonna happen. All right. So now I'm gonna transition over to like I said, this might be a little lengthy, All right. When you go to Isaiah 10. All right. And this is going into Syria. All right. The Assyrian king. All right. I'm going to start at verse 5. O Assyrian, rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation. And again, they was being used. Okay. He was being used to what? Take down Israel. Okay. That's why when you go into, I believe it's Shalmaneser the 5th, that's who took the northern kingdom into captivity. Okay. So verse 6, I will send him against a hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him charge, and take the spoil, and to take the prey, and to tread them down like the mire in the streets. Howbeit he meaneth not so, neither doeth his heart think so, but it is in the heart to destroy and cut off nations, not a few. For he said, are not my princes altogether kings? Is not Calno as Carchemish? Is not Hamath as Arpad? Is not Samaria as Damascus? As my hand have found the kingdoms of the idols, and whose graven images did assail them of Jerusalem and Samaria, shall I not, as I have done unto Samaria and her idols, so do to Jerusalem and her idols? Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, okay, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks. See, so again, you had, I believe this was Shalmaneser the fifth. Okay, you see how he had that same proud heart, okay, as Nebuchadnezzar. All right. And when you go into it, you know, the Assyrians, they ruled first, then the Babylonians. All right. But they had the same proud heart. And who this remind you of? Esau, Edom. Okay. Verse 13, for he hath said, by the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent. See, and I have removed the bounds of the people and have robbed their treasures, and I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. See? All right. And just like when we read in Jeremiah, okay, you see the parallels and you see the similarities, okay, just like Esau, Edom today. All right, verse 15, shall the axe boast itself against him that hewed therewith? Or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it? As if the rod shall shake itself against them that lift it up? See? Or as if the staff shall lift itself up, as if it were no wood? Right. So all of these kings acting like they had the powers was within them to do the thing. No, the Lord raised them up. That's why Esau, Edom is able to conquer like he's able to conquer today and stay on top. It's not of his own power and intelligence. No, it's because the Lord gave him the path to do so, to fulfill biblical prophecy. And when Israel is raised up, that's because Yahawah have raised us up through YAHAWAH. Okay? YAHAWAH is given a kingdom from Yahawah. Okay? Verse 16, therefore shall the Lord of hosts. And when you go into the Lord of hosts, that's going into the Lord of armies. That's talking about, you know, the heavenly host, those angels, okay? Send among his fat ones leanness, and under his glory he shall kindle a burning like the burning of a fire, man. All right. So when you go back to the parallels, all right, you see where it said in verse 12, it says what? When you get to the end of it, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks. For he said, by the strength of my hand, I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent. And I have removed the bounds of the people and have robbed their treasures, and I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. And my hand have found as a nest the riches of the people. All right, you see where he bragging. Well, when you go back, when we go back to Daniel 4 and 30, okay, what did Nebuchadnezzar say? Just bringing back the parallels. The king spake and said, is not this great Babylon that I have built for the houses of the kingdom by the might of my power and for the honor of my majesty? See? You see the parallels? And that's Esau, Edom today. All right? That's why when you go to that spirit they got right here. When you go to 2 Thessalonians 2, starting at verse 3. I'm going to start at verse 3. That no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right. And that falling away already happened. All right. Because Israelites, we already fell. We already been in captivity. All right. But the man of sin be revealed, Esau, Edom. All right. Because he had a covering cast over all nations for some time. But now he's getting called Esau, Edom. Now everybody is looking at him with that side eye, the son of perdition. Everybody really is like, oh, no, this is the guy. Verse 4, and the point, who opposeth and exalt himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worship, so that he is as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. See, this Esau Edom. This is M.O. All right. And that was the same with who? Nebuchadnezzar and the king of Assyria. All right. That's why you see the parallels. But see, it's the Lord who gave them that pride. Just so what? He can bring them down low and show his power. All right. And matter of fact, we're going to end off here, because I've been quoting it. Now it's time to get it. When you go to Romans chapter 9, starting at verse 17, it says what? For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, see, even for the same purpose have I raised up thee, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. All right. Therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will hardeneth. All right. Thou wilt say unto me, why doeth he yet find fault? For who have resisted his will? Nobody, man. Who resists the Most High will? See? All right. See, he raised up Pharaoh. All right. What? To show his power. All right. But then he destroyed him to show Israel his power as well, to destroy a great king in a great kingdom at that time. Okay. To destroy Pharaoh. It was like, what? But he showed his power. Okay. Verse 19. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doeth he yet find fault? For he who have resisted his will. Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say unto him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? That's going back into them two lots, man. All right. That one vessel unto honor is the Israelites. Okay. And that dishonor is all the rest of these Gentiles, these heathens, man. Okay. But again, it says, who are you to reply? Okay. Against the Most High. Nobody can reply. Again, going back to Ecclesiastes 8:4. All right. And it was reiterated. And when we read what, was that in Psalms? Or it might have been in Isaiah. But either way, who is you to reply? Okay. Nobody's resisting his will, because this is all YAHAWAH YAHAWAH script, man. Okay. And this is what's being done. Everything has to be done when the Lord speak. Okay. When Yahweh speak, it must be done. Okay. It must come to pass. All right. And that's why you see Esau Edom right now. He's going to have the same fate. All right. He's been risen up to power. Okay. He got a set time to rule. And then, boom, he's going to be taken out of power. All right. So I just wanted to bring this out. All right. Lord willing, it was edifying. Till the next lesson. Shalom.